Okay, so imagine this. You're ready to take your boutique to the next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're dreaming of those incredible Italian-made pieces, the craftsmanship, the style.
And I think a lot of people listening can relate to this. The idea of navigating international sourcing, working directly with manufacturers, it can seem a little daunting, right?
For sure. It's a whole new world. But the rewards, oh, the rewards can be incredible.
Totally. Which brings us to our deep dive today. We even covered a goldmine for you, ItalianModa.com.
It's like this. Imagine a curated directory that's jam-packed with connections to Italian manufacturers and brands.
Seriously, we're talking direct access to the heart of Italian fashion.
And it's all about women's apparel, specifically. So if you've ever wanted to bring a touch of Italian elegance and style directly to your customers...
This is it.
This is it. Okay, so let's say you land on ItalianModa.com.
First reaction.
It's a lot. Like stepping into a bustling Italian marketplace. You're immediately hit with the energy, the variety.
A little overwhelming, right? At least at first glance.
Exactly. But here's the thing. They've actually done a really good job of organizing everything. So you've got your main categories right up front. Clothing, handbags, footwear, all the essentials.
Makes sense. Keeps it simple.
Totally. And then within each of those categories, it gets really, really interesting.
Okay, so break it down for us. How do you even begin to narrow down the search?
That's where the filters come in. They've got filters for everything. So let's say you're looking for, I don't know, trendy casual wear for your boutique.
Which, let's be real, is always in demand.
Always. You could specifically filter for that. Or maybe your niche is more elegant evening wear.
Or maybe you're seeing that demand for plus-size options growing.
Which, smart move catering to that market, by the way. It's huge. But yeah, Italian Moda has filters for all of that.
Okay, so you found some styles you love, but how do you even know if these suppliers can work with you the way you need them to?
That's what I love about Italian Moda. You can filter by your preferred sourcing method. So let's talk private label for a second.
Because who hasn't dreamed of launching their own clothing line, right?
Exactly. With Italian Moda, you can find suppliers who are open to private label production. That means you can put your boutique's branding on those gorgeous Italian-made garments.
Talk about a way to stand out.
Right. And then, on the flip side, if you need something super flexible, maybe you're not ready to commit to large inventory orders.
Drop shipping.
Boom! They've got you covered. Italian Moda lets you filter for suppliers who offer drop shipping, so the manufacturer handles shipping directly to your customer.
So smart. Gives you so much more flexibility as a business owner. So we got all these options, but one thing that really struck me about Italian Moda is the range. We're not just talking about one specific style or price point here.
Oh, absolutely not. You'll find suppliers who specialize in, get this, low-cost, fast fashion.
Okay, so perfect for staying on top of those trends without breaking the bank.
Exactly. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got your luxury brand suppliers.
For those boutiques catering to a more high-end clientele.
Exactly. And here's the best part. You've got everything in between as well. I mean, we're talking hand-painted beachwear, sustainable clothing lines, you name it.
Seriously, bridal gowns even. It's mind-blowing.
And that's what makes Italian Moda such a fantastic resource. You know, it really showcases the depth and breadth of what Italian manufacturers are capable of.
Totally. You can curate a collection for your boutique that's truly unique, reflects your brand, and caters to your specific customers.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've established that Italian Moda is basically a treasure chest of Italian fashion connections. But I have to say, browsing through all those suppliers, it kind of feels like, oh, well, where do you even start, right?
You're not wrong. It's a lot to take in. So many talented designers and manufacturers, which is exactly why we wanted to highlight a few standouts for our listeners today.
I love that. Give us a taste of what's out there.
Exactly. Think of these as jumping off points for your own exploration. So first up, let's talk about a brand that I think really captures the essence of Italian style and comfort. Supplier.
Okay, Supplier. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So they're all about loungewear. Think leggings, tops, shorts, but with that undeniable Italian flair. It's like elevated loungewear, you know?
I'm picturing myself curled up on a balcony in Positano right now.
Right. Exactly the vibe. But here's the thing. They managed to hit that sweet spot between quality and affordability, which, as a boutique owner, I know is key.
For sure. You want those pieces that your customers will love, but you also need to make sure it makes sense for your bottom line.
Exactly. And here's the cherry on top with Supplier. They offer private label options.
Wait, hold up. So you could potentially have your boutique's branding on those amazing Italian-made loungewear pieces.
You got it. Talk about a way to create a line that's truly your own.
Genius. Okay, I'm already adding Siaware to my list to check out. What else have we got?
Okay, get ready for this one because it's truly unique. Roberta Bayardi. And let me just preface this by saying, they hand paint their garments.
Whoa, hold on. Hand painted.
Hand painted.
Okay, that is next level artistry. I'm officially blown away.
I know, right? Their swimwear and resort wear are exquisite. Each piece is like a work of art.
I bet they have the most incredible prints and patterns.
They do. And it just goes to show the level of craftsmanship and attention to detail that you can find on Italian Moda. These aren't your mass-produced pieces.
Not even close. This is about those unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that really make a statement.
Exactly. Now, for something completely different but equally as cool, let's talk about a green badge.
Okay, a green badge. I'm sensing a theme here. Tell me they're all about sustainable fashion.
You know it. Sustainable streetwear is their jam. And let me tell you, they take it seriously. Eco-friendly fabrics, responsible production methods.
Which, let's be real, is so important these days. Customers are really looking for those sustainable options.
Big time. And a green badge totally nails that. But they don't just stop at being eco-conscious. Their designs are also super unique. They often incorporate photographic prints. And get this, they even offer white labeling.
Okay, now you're just throwing around fancy terms. White labeling, break it down for us.
So imagine this. You could collaborate with them to create a line of sustainable streetwear that features your own designs or even photographs.
Whoa, so you're not just curating a collection, you're literally co-creating it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because they're already set up for sustainable production, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
That is incredible. I'm honestly so impressed by the range of options that Italian Moda offers. It's not just about finding clothes to sell in your boutique, it's about finding partners who can help you bring your vision to life.
100%. It's about building those relationships and collaborations that make your boutique truly stand out.
But I imagine working with international suppliers, even with a platform like Italian Moda to streamline things, it's got to come with its own set of considerations, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's not as simple as ordering something from your favorite online store, but the rewards can be so worth it.
So for our listeners who are ready to dive headfirst into the world of Italian Moda, what are some of those key things they should wrap their heads around?
Logistics.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to be mindful of. We're talking international shipping here.
Right, which means longer shipping times, potentially higher costs.
Exactly. And it's not always as straightforward as just seeing a flat shipping rate online. It can vary depending on the supplier, the size of your order, all sorts of factors.
Makes sense. So definitely something to factor in when you're comparing suppliers and figuring out your budget.
Absolutely. And then another thing to be prepared for is minimum order quantities.
Ah, yes. MOQs. Those can be a bit of a stumbling block for some boutique owners, right? Especially when you're just starting out or maybe testing out a new supplier.
For sure.
Yeah.
But they're pretty standard in the manufacturing world, especially when you're working directly with these Italian artisans.
For any of our listeners who are maybe new to this whole MOQ thing, could you explain why they exist in the first place?
Of course. So imagine a manufacturer having to reset their entire production line just to make a handful of garments. It's not very efficient, right?
Not at all. Time is money, as they say.
Exactly. So MOQs basically ensure that production runs are worthwhile for everyone involved.
Makes sense. So you're basically guaranteeing a certain volume to make it worth the manufacturer's while to fire up those sewing machines for your order. It's a partnership.
Exactly. Collaboration is key. Now, one more thing I do want to mention, and it's something to be aware of, not necessarily intimidated by. You might encounter a few language barriers along the way.
That's the reality of working internationally, right? But hey, that's what those amazing translation apps are for.
Right. Technology to the rescue. Don't let a little language difference stop you from exploring all the incredible opportunities Italian Moda has to offer.
Couldn't agree more. Now, before we send our listeners off on their Italian fashion adventures, any final words of wisdom? What's the secret sauce to making these collaborations really sing?
Oh, I love that question. Okay, here it is. Before you even start browsing Italian Moda, before you fall in love with a particular designer's aesthetic, before you do anything else, sit down and get really clear on your brand's DNA.
I love that. It's about more than just finding clothes you like. It's about finding the perfect partners for your boutique's unique identity.
100%. Define your target market, your price point. the overall aesthetic you're going for.
Because once you know exactly what you're looking for, you're not just randomly contacting suppliers and hoping for the best.
Exactly. It becomes so much more targeted, so much more strategic. You're able to connect with manufacturers who align with your vision and who are genuinely excited to collaborate with you.
This whole deep dive has been so eye-opening. I feel like I've just gotten a crash course in navigating the world of Italian fashion manufacturing.
Me too. And the best part is, this is really just the tip of the iceberg. Italian Moda is such a treasure trove of talent and craftsmanship waiting to be discovered.
So for our listeners who are ready to start exploring, what's the best first step?
Head over to ItalianModa.com and dive in. Don't be afraid to get lost in all the categories. Check out different suppliers. Let your imagination run wild. Who knows? You might just unearth that perfect piece to launch your next best-selling collection.
And remember, it's not just about sourcing clothes, it's about telling a story, your boutique's story, through the language of Italian design and craftsmanship.
Exactly. And who wouldn't want a piece of that story? To be able to say, this right here, this is made with passion, with heritage, straight from the heart of Italy.
Now that's how you create a brand that truly resonates with people.
Absolutely.
This has been fantastic. Until next time.
Ciao.